in their own community now and for as long as they need it. And again, I'm very proud to have in federal funding to make Navigator Homes possible. To deliver for island locals and for our seniors to have access to health care, clean and safe homes, and natural lands to reap the health benefits. And thank you to the Wampanoag for being here and blessing what we're doing here today, because there are 13 acres of conservation land that are also part of this project and part of the identity of Martha's Vineyard. That is absolutely central to this project. And there'll be 30 healthcare providers who will be housed here on the vineyard now, ensuring that talented healthcare workers can serve their communities and that older Americans can have access to the care they need without needing to go off of the island. Our nation's seniors are an integral part of our society. Navigator Homes should be congratulated. It's a great mission to have, to provide that kind of health that is clean, it's safe, natural lands surround it to reap the health benefits of just where all of these seniors will be housed. And so I can't thank all of you enough. This is something that really makes me proud. It's a 2-year project. And I had many staffers on the phone with Scott on an ongoing basis, led by my state director, Jim Cantwell, but Katie Morphle over here. Can you just raise your hand just so people can see you? And my other staffers who are here, who partnered with Scott to make this project a reality. So congratulations. We can see rising here something that's going to be a landmark for Martha's Vineyard for the entirety of the 21st century. It's going to be a special place for all of those families that call Martha's Vineyard home, and it's my great honor to have been able to partner with the great community of Martha's Vineyard. Thank you all so much.
So I'm going to ask you, and go off script a little bit here, ask you to visualize something. Are there any NFL fans here? Raise your hand. Have you ever seen what the dreaded Philadelphia and the entire team pushes all the teammates together to get over the goal line? That's Ed Markey and his team. Woo! Could not be done without that. So I'm here to introduce Scott Soares, as we heard earlier, is the state director for USDA. And Senator Markey mentioned that covers Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. So USDA, why is USDA here? USDA, as you may know, their charter is to support rural America. More specifically, in this case, senior housing in rural America. Martha's Vineyard is rural America, and it is very much within their charter. And why do we need USDA's help? Anyone who's ever tried to build something on this island, number one, construction costs way higher than any place else. Try to get debt financing. I have a file full of letters rejected by lenders. We love your project. We're not going to lend you one penny. We are a startup organization with no track record and with limited resources. That's the bad news. The good news is Scott and his team. They have subject area experts who know very thorough underwriting when they see it. And they declared this to be a very solid credit. They also know construction very thoroughly. And most importantly, they know the heart of a project like this and the community that it serves must go forward. 2 years ago, this past spring, 2022, we sat on this very site, still on this site, with Scott and his team. And frankly, it was sort of a dark day. You have no financing, you have no credit, you have no one lined up. And Scott said, on the spot, we will make this work. January 9th of this year, We closed a $53 million loan, 3.5% blended interest rate fixed for 35 years. You cannot find that anywhere on the planet. Scott kept his promise. Ask me if I am proud to introduce Scott Soares. I am wildly proud. Scott.
Thanks very much, David. It is truly a pleasure for me to be here today. This, as you've heard previous speakers, this has been a long time coming, this project, and for no other folks than those that are here on the island themselves. Really want to thank Senator Markey for his long-term support. This would not be happening without his help to get projects like this across the goal line. It was, as mentioned, 2 years ago that we were standing on this lot, and when I left, my biggest concern was, do we have any ticks? And that's because we're all woods here. This is unrecognizable. I was blown away when we drove up this morning to see just how much work has already been done on this site. To David and Navigator Homes, your board, Patty, we sat in Windermere. One of the images that stuck with me that day was one of the residents who was wheelchair bound, who could not see out the window in the facility that she was in. And different model, different day, what was built there, and the service that's provided was different then. But the creativity that you all have brought to make this project reality and the ability to make the project fundable has been remarkable. So congratulations to you for the work that you've done here. The CEO from Martha's Vineyard Hospital, Denise, and Susan from the Greenhouse Project, again, it's the names of individuals who have been a part of this are really just testament of what it takes to get a project of this magnitude and impact across the goal line. The chief from Wampanoag Tribe, thank you, sir, for your comments and for being here. It's incredibly important that we bring our history forward, and your being here today is doing that, and your support for the project, and I understand the support that this project will have to help tribal community members is also a remarkable component to what's happening here. The Edgartown board, I've worked for a lot of years for the state of Massachusetts, and I know in the state of home rule, as we're also often called in Massachusetts, things don't happen unless they happen at the local level. So for the board and through them, the community members that support projects like this, again, thank you so much for your work. I'd be remiss if I didn't identify the team that I brought here to me. I get the opportunity to, come in and pitch some soil or cut a ribbon, but the heavy lifting, the hard work is done by the staff at Rural Development, which, truth be told, I'm privileged to be here on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration, and I asked to come back after serving during the Obama administration, in large part because of the team that I have the privilege to work with every day. And they are here today, Jen Lurch, who is at the tip of the spear to make this project work. Sitting right next to Jen is Michaela Belt, one of our newer loan specialists who's working on this project to make it through. Henry Moyen, another one of our loan specialists working on this project. Right next to him is Liz Garapi, who kept her hands on the reins as the acting state director before I was able to come back, who likewise ran this project through for 2 years before we were able to actually get it rolling back in 22. So thank you, Liz, for your work on that. And next to Liz is Megan Llewellyn, another one of our loan specialists that was key in making it keep these projects rolling, to keep reporting back, to demonstrate the kinds of impact that we can have with these projects. These projects won't happen. This is innovative. This is providing housing. It's providing economic development. It's providing land preservation. This project is doing everything that rural development should be doing in every community. So thank you all for the opportunity for having rural development here to be a part of it. Simply put, this project will do exactly what USDA rural development is supposed to do. As was mentioned, we're part of a 3-state jurisdiction, and over that time, just the last 4 years, we've directed nearly $500 million to about 1,200 projects. Not as impactful, I would say, as this, but certainly similar to this. I would encourage you, I've often asked the question, and Senator mentioned, why USDA? Our history actually goes back to the first New Deal, back to the Resettlement Administration, and we do have some guides here that cover the range of 70 different programs that we administer that address housing, they address rural community economic development, they address community development opportunities to get at critical community infrastructure, which this is defined as, this project, and also rural business development that, again, thanks in large part to the Senator and to the Biden-Harris administration, things like the Inflation Reduction Act are giving us the opportunity to move that needle even more to help look at how do we continue to grow and develop our communities in a way that doesn't negatively impact our environment or our energy profile. So in short, I'm thrilled to be here today. And again, I want to thank everyone who's been a part of this. It is a clear indication for everything that's gone into this project of what it takes to get projects like this done. And again, I am so proud and privileged to be a small part of that through USDA Rural Development. And again, thank you all for the opportunity to be here and to work with you on this project. Thank you very much. Patty. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you, Chris, for rescuing me. It'll help if I can see straight. It is quite something to see you out there. Some of you know Denise Shapitzi, her distinguished previous work in academic medical centers, integrated health systems, and community hospitals throughout Massachusetts. Others know that since her arrival as president and CEO in 2028, she and her team have expanded primary care on this island, making mental health resources integral to primary care, adding full-time specialists in cardiology, pediatrics, and neurology. Her dedication to the community has made the hospital a key ally, as we've heard, in many other supportive programs for food security, substance use disorder, and housing renovation for low-income elders. In 2018, when we first started talking about this, she quickly understood the need to replace Windermere with an updated nursing home and welcomed the greenhouse model. Has had a deep impact on island life. Through all her efforts, however, she has never lost her singular focus on caring for individual human beings. I have heard many stories and could share some myself, through which she made time in her packed schedule to find the companion needed to accompany a family member on an ambulance ride to Boston, or to assure that the right connections are made with Spalding rehabilitation after someone has experienced a stroke. Denise Shapitzi is a rare and treasured colleague on this island, and I am honored to introduce her today.